We're about to see Kid Gavilán, the Cuban Hawk, defending the world's welterweight title against Carmen Basilio, the challenger from nearby Canastota, New York, in a scheduled 15-round bout. Before the fight begins, Kid Gavilán is presented with a Cuban flag, an expression of admiration from his countrymen. The champion is a 4-to-1 favorite tonight. Basilio weighs 147 to Gavilán's 146 3/4. He meets Gavilán at the middle of the ring for last-minute instructions by New York City referee George Walsh. And in a moment, round one. Both starting slowly, fencing with their lefts. This match is expected to go the distance. This is Gavilán's sixth defense of the welterweight title. Because of a cold, he was expected to have trouble paring down his weight to the 147-pound limit. Instead, it was challenger Carmen Basilio who came in a pound too heavy. It took 36 minutes for Basilio to sweat it out in a phone booth, as the profession calls it, and lose that excess pound. Basilio is a natural welterweight. Gavilán's normal weight, however, qualifies him more for the middleweight division. So here we have a champion fighting under two handicaps: a head cold, which hampered his training, and the punishment of making weight. Both are bound to affect his stamina. Gavilán, as you can see, is a Fancy Dan type of fighter who does a great deal of moving and leather throwing. His punches seem to have little real power. Still, they're causing Basilio's left eye to grow red, and that eye, we'll see later, is going to cause the challenger a lot of trouble. Basilio moves slower than Gavilán. He believes in power more than in speed. Of 50 professional fights, he has won 36, lost 10 with 4 draws. 17 have been by knockout. Kid Gavilán so far has KO'd 27 victims. He enters this fight, the 113th of his career, with 94 victories, 4 draws, 14 losses. Neither man has ever been stopped. Gavilán winging in a left hook, which just misses. The kid looking for an opening for his right. And here it is, followed by a good left to the body. Basilio is shaken up and his knees buckle as he seeks to tie up the champion. The referee warns Gavilán to break cleanly. Two rights by Gavilán. This action is typical of the last-minute flurries he employs so often. Just some of his critics charge that the kid saves all his fighting for the last 30 seconds of each round to catch the attention of the judges. Whatever the reason, it seems to have worked, for the officials awarded the round to Kid Gavilán. Round two. Let's watch for the knockdown. Gavilán flicks in his left. Basilio, moving away from it, looks for an opening. The challenger is an effective hitter with either hand. Gavilán forces his man back. Basilio bobs and weaves to escape Gavilán's left. Counter left by Basilio staggers the champion. Watch closely as two left hooks in rapid succession by Basilio send Gavilán sprawling to the canvas. And for the second time in 111 bouts, the champion is down. Gavilán takes a 9 count from referee Walsh. 7,000 fans are on their feet, electrified with excitement. Remember, this is Basilio's home territory, and from all over this War Memorial Auditorium comes cries for a quick knockout. Basilio a little wild as he attempts to press his advantage. That was the first time Gavilán had been knocked down since Ike Williams did it back in 1948. The champion pulling out of it very nicely, though. Gavilán ties up Basilio. He's remarkably cool and calculating after that knockdown. Gavilán is known to have one of the stoutest chins in the ring. No china in his mandibles. For a total of 25 rounds, he took the best shots thrown by Sugar Ray Robinson without once hitting the deck. The kid's punches seem to lack steam here, but they've been connecting with the challenger's head. Carmen's nose is bleeding. Basilio exerting a great deal of pressure. Watch him connect with a good left to the body. He's effective with both hands, but that left is easily his most damaging weapon. In the final seconds of round 2, we find Carmen Basilio a very confident challenger. Gavilán, the world's welterweight champion in white trunks, begins round 3 carrying his guard high after being knocked down in the previous round. You'll notice that he keeps his head tilted slightly to the right. Carmen Basilio, the challenger, moves his hands in rhythmic motions, much like those used by a batter at the plate or a golfer on the tee. Both men have a wide stance. Gavilán about to get in 2 good lefts to the body that knock the challenger off balance. Gavilán is very fast with his hands. Basilio comes back with a long left to the body, followed by a right. Carmen is an ex-Marine. He's 26 years old, 1 year younger than Gavilán, but nowhere near the champion in experience. Gavilán turns and shuffles away for a moment. That's a maneuver made famous by Jersey Joe Walcott to interrupt the action. Gavilán did it because Basilio was moving in, pressuring, and the kid wanted to make him change direction. Like Gavilán, Basilio has a stout chin. But Carmen, on style, has been more the club-fighting brawler, depending less on speed and more on aggressiveness, less on flash, more on power. Here comes a right-left combination by Basilio. Combinations are punches put together in sequence. Basilio ordinarily limits his combinations to 2 or 3 punches. Gavilán likes to fire in bursts, as he did at the close of round 1, and often explodes up to 5 and 6 blows in sequence. Watch Gavilán's right hand swing back to deliver this blow. There. A bolo. It's the champion's favorite, if not his most effective punch. we're going to find him throwing it again and again in the rounds ahead. A near sellout in War Memorial Auditorium, Syracuse, cheering their local hero, Carmen Basilio, as he racks up another frame at the end of round 3. Carmen Basilio, the challenger in dark trunks, displays a great deal of confidence after getting away to a fast start in his bid for the world's welterweight crown. Going into round 4, he's definitely the aggressor. See what Gavilán is doing? He's been circling to his left. Now he shifts direction and moves to his right. He's trying to confuse Basilio, trying to keep the challenger off balance. Gavilán naturally wants to avoid the left hook that floored him in the second stanza. The Keat is a cool, calculating ringman. He's what they call an old pro. A beautiful two-fisted attack to the body drives Gavilán to the ropes. Basilio, holding his man, is cautioned by referee Walsh, and the two fighters touch gloves. Basilio making a surprisingly good showing here in round 4. Watch Gavilán swing back his right to deliver another flashy bolo. That's the kid's most controversial weapon. It looks good from the gallery, but experts question its effectiveness. Some say most of the power is spent in the backswing. Others say it carries a tremendous psychological impact upon both the officials and the opponent. Effective or not, Gavilán continues to use it tonight. Now watch Basilio as he lashes out with two good lefts, driving Gavilán to the ropes for the second time in this round. That left is really a big punch for the challenger. Basilio, you notice, has switched to a body attack because Gavilán's weaving tactics make it difficult to connect with his jaw. Gavilán doing little but flicking in that left. And the champion catches a left as Basilio moves in, but the kid ties him up. Now Basilio goes in again and begins exerting pressure, fighting well inside, punching to the body. In the final seconds of round 4, I scored it the third in a row for Basilio. Round 5. Both still cautious. But now we'll see the champion in white trunks open up a bit. He knows he's trailing in this fight. Coming up, a pair of lefts to Basilio's head. But the challenger is still crowding. There's Gavilán flicking in his left to keep his man off balance. And Basilio misses a right. Gavilán tries a right to the head, but it's short. Kid Gavilán won the welterweight crown by beating Johnny Bratton in Madison Square Garden, May 18th, 1951. Oddly enough, his most recent defeat before meeting Basilio took place right here in beautiful War Memorial Auditorium, Syracuse. Earlier in 1953, at the midst of Danny Bang Bang Womber. And now here's Basilio ahead on rounds. No wonder Carmen's local fans are cheering for an upset. Basilio, moving in, catches a right to the head and a left to the jaw. But those punches don't seem to bother the challenger from Canastota, New York. He continues to crowd. Basilio misses a left, and they go to close quarters. Here comes a glancing right to the head by Gavilán. See how Basilio rolls with a punch. The champion showing a good deal more aggressiveness here in round 5 than in the earlier rounds. Basilio's left eye becoming quite red now. It started to discolor early in the first round, and it's going to become more and more troublesome as the fight progresses. Basilio about to land a right to the body. Gavilán ties him up and forces him to the ropes. Referee Walsh has to separate them. After the bell ending round 5, a frame will score for Gavilán. Kid Gavilán in white trunks swings his arms in wide circles, trying to loosen the muscles made tense by a cold from which he's just recovered. We find the same pattern unfolding here in round 6. Basilio crowding, Gavilán retreating, and constantly shifting direction to disrupt the challenger's attack. Gavilán misses a right and takes a right from Basilio. Basilio gets in another right, beating Gavilán to the punch. Frequently, you'll find a kid with his back nearly against the ropes as he tries to maneuver. He feels the pressure being exerted by Basilio. Look closely, and you'll see that Gavilán's right is free in the clinch. He's landing short jolts to the chin, uppercuts. But apparently none had much power. Without a doubt, Gavilán's low weight is reducing his effectiveness tonight. He tipped the scales at 154 a month earlier when he met Tiger Jones. But for Basilio, the kid from Cuba is down to less than 147 pounds. Now watch this. A left hook from Basilio will drive Gavilán toward the ropes again. And the kid continues to shift direction. Gavilán moving in and out behind his left hand, but retreating. Slowly, constantly retreating. The champion feinting with his head and shoulders, searching for an opening, but failing to find it. Gavilán's bobbing and weaving, trying all the tricks he knows. He throws a right and a left that fail to land. But now he is landing with both hands as they slug at close quarters. Basilio concentrating on the body. Gavilán backs his man to the ropes and lands 3 rights to the jaw before referee Walsh separates them. Basilio neatly blocks a left by Gavilán. Now you are seeing another last-minute flurry by the kid, but it comes too late to win the stanza. I called round 6 even. Round 7. During the intermission between the last round and this, Angel Lopez, Gavilan's manager, standing just a few feet away from us, shouted down, "The weight killed him." He meant that Gavilan's weight making had sapped his stamina. Remember, the kid from Cuba is down 7 pounds from his weight of just a month before. Both men beginning the round cautiously. Basilio about to miss a sweeping right. Gavilan's jabs are short. He's been flicking them in more for their nuisance value than for power. He wants to upset the pattern of Basilio's advance and work out an opening. Basilio's left and right find their mark despite Gavilan's counter. Now the challenger's about to land a beautiful left to the jaw. As Basilio rushes in, Gavilán attempts to roll with those punches, but they landed just the same. Gavilán stung into action, but Basilio ties him up. Watch him land a left to the jaw. Remember, War Memorial Auditorium is in Syracuse, New York, and Carmen Basilio, wearing dark trunks, comes from nearby Canastota. And this hometown crowd is cheering for him to lift the world's welterweight crown from Cuba's Kid Gavilán. Basilio countering nicely off the ropes, firing first to the head and now to the body. This infighting session definitely belongs to the challenger. Now you notice that even though Basilio has his back to the ropes, he's still in command as round 7 draws to a close. He's still the aggressor. Gavilán is obviously finding it difficult to solve the challenger's style. This round goes to Basilio, but that left eye of his is growing redder and redder, and also puffy, and it's a definite handicap. Going into round 8, the fight so far belongs to the challenger, Carmen Basilio. He's ahead on the scorecards of all 3 ring officials. But the attempts of his corner to control the swelling of Carmen's left eye have not been entirely successful. Basilio, going into a bob and weave, makes Gavilán miss a right. Watch Basilio come in with a left hook, getting under Gavilán's counter right. And they go to close quarters. Oh, how Basilio wants to drop in that left-hand bomb again. Win or lose, the challenger gets 20% of the $46,000 gate, plus a similar cut of the TV melon. Gavilán takes 40%. Gavilán still flicking in his jab, landing a right. Basilio punching back with both hands. Again, Gavilán moves in, missing 2 lefts. And Basilio ties him up. Now watch how Basilio picks off a right by Gavilán. See Carmen block that punch with his left forearm? Gavilán about to miss a right and a left. And here comes Gavilán's famous bolo punch. Watch his right. It was partially blocked, so he tries another. But Basilio takes it on his arm. The kid tries bolo number 3. That one also does little damage. Basilio's left eye is slowly closing. The kid flurrying, but Basilio staying right with him. They wrestle to the ropes, but Gavilán fails to land solidly. He tries another bolo that misses. Here comes another. It glances off Carmen's forehead. Referee Walsh separates them just before the bell, ending round 8. Another frame for Basilio. Because the outcome of this fight is so controversial, as we'll see later on, let's take a moment in round 9 to tally the scorecards of the 3 ring officials. In New York, officials score by the round system, with supplementary points per round to be used in case of a draw. At this stage of the bout, Judge Harold Barnes has scored it 2 rounds for Gavilán, 5 for Basilio, 1 even. Judge Jack Kimball called it 3 for Gavilán, 4 for Basilio, and 1 even. Referee George Walsh, 2 for Gavilán, 5 for Basilio, and 1 even. So you see, all 3 officials closely agreed that the fight so far is Basilio's. Let's see what happens now. Can the champion pull it out? Round 9, like the others before it, has begun cautiously. The champion in white trunks seems cool. They move to close quarters, but there's no damage done. Basilio's left eye is half shut now. A glancing right to Basilio's head. Gavilán still jabbing, using this blow not only to keep the challenger off balance, but to maneuver for an opening. And a sweeping right by Basilio finds the mark. That swollen left eye is giving Basilio trouble. In a right-hander's stance, that's the front eye, so to speak. Once in a fight with Ike Williams, Gavilán's left eye was closed completely. So, the kid switched and became a southpaw. Watch. A left hook by Gavilán will draw a good counter right from Basilio. Frequently, you'll see Carmen waiting for the kid to move, then throwing in his own counterpunch. In the final seconds, we'll tab round 9 for Gavilán, his 3rd winning frame on our scorecard. Round 10. In the interval between rounds 9 and 10, Basilio's cornermen were keeping his left eye packed under ice to reduce the swelling. Still, the eye is half shut. Basilio, in dark trunks, is ahead so far in this scheduled 15-round bout for the world's welterweight crown. Both men took a pretty solid pounding in the early rounds, but the damage is more visible on Basilio. Gavilán was on the deck in the second round, felled by a solid left hook from Basilio. Both fighters evenly matched in weight, with Gavilán holding a height advantage. The kid stands 5'10" to Carmen's 5'6½". Gavilán using fewer bolo punches now after finding them ineffective. But to prove that he hasn't given up on them completely, he's going to try two more, doubling up with his right hand. Watch. There they are. Gavilán misses a right as Basilio blocks a left by falling inside. Gavilán's still working cautiously and yet doing more gambling now because he knows he's behind. Carmen Basilio proving a strong, rugged challenger. A left, half hook, half bolo, blocked by Basilio as he again falls in close. Gavilán working on the head in the clinch, and Basilio's nose once again is starting to bleed. It was bleeding in the second round. Both seeking an opening in which to start a barrage or go to work with combinations. See how Gavilán pounds Basilio's swollen left eye. They touch gloves after holding on the break at the end of round 10. The second frame in a row for Gavilán. Challenger Carmen Basilio moves to the center of the ring and grimaces as he catches a pair of lefts to the head. That painful left eye is nearly closed now, despite all the efforts of his corner to prevent the swelling. Gavilán staying busy with that left, keeping the challenger off balance, fighting to come from behind. The champion is forced now to pull himself up by his bootstraps, for he's trailing his opponent. Basilio's nose is still bleeding. It began in round 2, then stopped for a while. But Gavilán, jabbing sharply to the head, started the nose bleeding again in round 10. It hasn't stopped here in round 11. Gavilán comes in with a left to the body, and Basilio ties him up. Gavilán seems to be getting stronger. Basilio weakening. Watch this lead right to the jaw by Gavilán. A pip. Basilio's right to the body draws a counter right by the kid. Gavilán, with that annoying left hand, keeps working on Basilio's swollen eye and bleeding nose. He's punching far more sharply now. Now you'll see Gavilán break into that peculiar shuffle again, moving first to his right, Then shifting to his left, he's trying to throw Basilio off his line of advance. But the challenger pounds into the ropes. Gavilán flares back. A glancing right to the jaw drives Basilio back to the ropes. Gavilán definitely has found his second win. And round 11 is a clean-cut win for Gavilán. Basilio's cornermen have been working on that swollen left eye. Kid Gavilán in the opposite corner has won the last 3 rounds, but he's going to find plenty of fight left in the challenger. A left hook by Basilio. The 26-year-old ex-Marine, who had a comfortable lead early in the fight, has seen that lead slowly evaporate. And now you'll see him battling desperately to regain control. Watch Gavilán in white trunks come in with a right-left, followed by the controversial bolo. See how Basilio partially blocked that bolo? He's coming back well here in round 12. You'll see Gavilán missing with both hands. Referee George Walsh separates the men with a warning to Basilio for failing to make a clean break. Basilio countering beautifully with a left-right as Gavilán moved in. Gavilán trying to force the pace. Basilio countering nicely and catching the kid as he backs to the ropes. Basilio's making a surprisingly good comeback in round 12. He's landing effectively, despite the handicap of a swollen left eye. Gavilán easing off the pace, watching his chance. Now you'll see the champion come in winging with one of his patented finishes. The attempt comes too late, and round 12 goes to Basilio. Kid Gavilán comes out a bit slowly as he answers the bell for round 13. He's tired. The kid had trouble making weight for this match, a scheduled 15-rounder for the welterweight crown. And here we have a real indication that his stamina is failing. And yet, Gavilán always fights best when his title is on the line. Also, he knew he was trailing the challenger early in the fight. Basilio is tiring too. His left eye is practically closed. Two left hooks by Gavilán rocked Basilio partially off balance. Basilio's about to try a long-range right. A miss. The challenger landing very little now. Gavilán gets set to wrap a right around Basilio's neck as the challenger moves in onto the punch. In that last exchange, the only blow that landed was Basilio's early left to the jaw. Gavilán keeps flicking his left in Carmen's face, working on the swollen eye and injured nose. The kid has been using his left effectively in his comeback to keep Basilio off balance. Here comes another right-hand bolo by Gavilán, followed by a left that's partially blocked by Basilio. They touched gloves, each man feeling he had been slow on the break. The end of round 13, which I called even. A tired Basilio retires to his corner. Joe Nitro and Johnny DeJohn, working the corner, are Carmen Basilio's co-managers. He has no trainer. Round 14. You can see that Basilio is now adapting a more squared-away stance. Because his left eye is swollen nearly shut, the challenger is forced to swing his head and shoulders around in order to see out of the right eye. As Gavilán tries a left, Basilio misses a right counter. Both men are tired, trying to make every punch count as we come to the final 2 rounds of this bout for the world's welterweight crown. There have been no knockdowns since the second round, when a left hook by Basilio put the champion on the deck for a 9 count. Scoring with short rights to the head. He was pummeling the ear area. Gavilán moving in, digs a left to the body, and Basilio ties him up. The champion again coming back strong, but Basilio's still dangerous. Watch Carmen's right. Now Gavilán, with a left hook, gets inside a left by the challenger. Basilio missed with that counter as he went to the ropes. Again, the challenger is back to the ropes. Gavilán moving in and pummeling the body. A noticeably stronger champion, Kid Gavilán in white trunks, again forces his man to the ropes. So far in this round, Basilio has been backed against 3 sets of strands. There's the bell ending round 14, and we'll score it for Gavilán. On the left is Gavilán's trainer, Mondito Medina. Outside the ropes is Angel Lopez, manager. El Gavilán, the Hawk, is named after a restaurant in Havana, owned by a former manager. The fighter's real name is Gerardo Gonzalez. Watch the champion, and you'll see him throwing nothing but lefts here in the opening moments of round 15, the final round of a title bout for the world's welterweight title. A crowd of near sellout proportions in War Memorial Auditorium, Syracuse, is solidly behind Carmen Basilio, the challenger from nearby Canastota. They expect to see a new champion crowned here tonight. It's been a close fight. So far, I've got it 6 rounds for Gavilán, 6 for Basilio, and 2 even. Gavilán still relying on his left and trying to avoid Basilio's left, the hand that brought the champion to the deck in round 2 for the 2nd time in his career. Can he pull this one out? This round should tell the story. The Kid has had a rough evening. Basilio tries a left and a right, but they both miss. Now Gavilán is landing those lefts as he snaps Basilio's head back. A sweeping left by Basilio misses as Gavilán continues firing those staccato lefts. Gavilán wants to work on Carmen's swollen eye and injured nose. The champion moving well now, apparently full of confidence. A flurry, but neither man is landing solidly. Basilio's tired, but Gavilán seems to have found his 2nd win. He's moving well and looks even better compared with a waning challenger. Basilio trying one last flurry, missing and being pushed into a corner in the final seconds of the round. There's the bell. You can get a good look now at Basilio's left eye. It's nearly closed. The gloves are cut from Gavilán's hands. Basilio's happy. He thinks he won the fight. So does Judge Jack Kimball, a local official, who tabbed it for the challenger. 7 rounds to 5 with 3 even. Judge Harold Barnes scored it 7-6-2 for Gavilán. Referee George Walsh, 8-6-1 in favor of Gavilán. So the winner, and still welterweight champion of the world, is Kid Gavilán. The crowd is booing the split decision, and the challenge